Chapter 1. DNA from a forgotten species. Imagine finding a tiny bone, no bigger than a coin, deep inside a cold, dark cave in Siberia. That's exactly what happened in 2010. Scientists were shocked when they tested the DNA inside that little bone. It wasn't the DNA of any human species we already knew. It wasn't Homo sapiens, modern humans like us. It wasn't Neanderthals, our close ancient cousins. It was something new, something no one had ever seen before. They named this mysterious human species the Denisovans, after the cave where the bone was found. But here's the strange part. We don't have a full skeleton or even a skull of a Denisovan, just a few tiny fragments. How can we know they existed if all we have is a tiny bone and some teeth? The answer lies in DNA. By studying their genes, scientists learned that Denisovans lived at the same time as Neanderthals and early humans, maybe even 200,000 years ago. They weren't just another lost group. They were different and unique. And here's the most surprising thing. Millions of people alive today still carry Denisovan DNA in their bodies. That includes people in places like Tibet, Papua New Guinea, and other parts of Asia and Oceania. Some traits, like the ability to survive in very high mountains with low oxygen, come from Denisovans. In other words, a species that disappeared tens of thousands of years ago still lives inside us. This raises big questions. Who were the Denisovans? Why did they vanish? And how many other lost humans have we never even discovered? Scientists are still digging for answers, and the story is just beginning. Why is this? Scientists believe it's because of where Denisovans lived. Many lived in places like tropical jungles and humid mountains, environments that are terrible for preserving bones. The heat, moisture, and soil can quickly break down any remains. So entire populations and civilizations could have vanished without leaving much trace behind. This is why we know so little about them, even though they lived alongside other ancient humans. But even with so little evidence, Denisovans have shaken our understanding of human history. How? Because their DNA tells a fascinating story. Denisovans weren't just distant relatives. They actually interbred with both Neanderthals and early modern humans. In fact, in 2018, scientists discovered something incredible: a 13-year-old girl who was half Denisovan and half Neanderthal. She was the first known human hybrid ever found. This showed that these ancient humans didn't live separately or avoid each other. They met, interacted, and even shared genes. Could they have shared culture, tools, or language too? We don't know yet. But the mystery of why Denisovans disappeared while other humans survived is still unsolved. Was it climate change, disease, conflict, or something else? One theory is that Denisovans lived in small, scattered groups and were slowly absorbed into other populations, disappearing quietly over time. This idea challenges the old view of ancient humans fighting and killing each other to extinction. Instead, history might have been a story of blending and survival. Chapter 3. The ghosts in our genes. Denisovans aren't the only mystery hiding in our DNA. Scientists have found signs of other unknown ancient human species. Ghosts that have left no bones, no tools, no stories. These mysterious humans lived in Africa and other parts of the world, but we don't know their names or faces. We only see shadows of them inside us, in the DNA passed down through generations. It means our family tree is much more complicated than we thought. Some of these lost species may have lived as recently as 20,000 or 30,000 years ago. That's long after humans had started making art, burying their dead, and forming languages. So these weren't simple cavemen. They were humans, just different from us. This makes us ask, what really makes us human? Is it our brain size, our ability to speak, our culture and beliefs? Or is it something deeper? The Denisovans and these other lost species force us to rethink everything. Maybe humanity isn't just one story. It's many stories, all connected. And maybe, the more we look into our genes, the more secrets we'll uncover. The story of ancient humans is far from over.